everyone and welcome to the second lecture of the JavaScript. So in this video I'll be telling you what are data types, and before starting this video I would like a small request from you is if you're using VS Code, so go to extensions and type here live server. Live also you can type, and if you want you can type live server also. You'll see the first one, click on this with day. Install this and now I'll tell you what it does. Suppose you're writing any code in JavaScript or CSS, you have to open your HTML file. You also don't need to open it, just click on right side of your HTML file, right click, and you'll get an option after installing the live server, open with live server. When I open this, you can see that it gets open. This is normal. You can do this with the run feature also. But now, suppose I'll type console.log, something that I showed you in the last lecture. I'll write Mike. Yeah, and now you'll notice that whenever we need to get some changes, you need to press the refresh button, but here the case is different. In this live server you do not need to press the reload button. Instead it will get the live instructions from your code, and it will do as it is directed over here. You can see Mike, and if you think I refreshed, I'll show another example. Suppose console.log 23. You can see that 23 is also here, so I'm not refreshing. You can see I've not touched this button. So that's why this is important, and if it's totally your choice whether you want to install it or not, but my recommendations are you could install it. It will be very helpful for you. So let us get on today's topic. What are data types? So there are some data types known as strings, numbers, booleans, undefined, not a number, and there are much more. So I'll show you. The first is string. You might be confused with them, but don't get confused. I'll explain one by one to you. So let us go first to the string. Yeah. So in my last video I told you what is the difference between string and number. So you can see that this is the basic console command that we learned in our last lecture. Now give a double quote, and you can do this same thing with this single quote also. I'll show you that also. Yeah, the up is double quote and the down is single quote. So I'm typing here Achintya, my name, and here I'll type Mike. You can see that. So these are strings. You need to give them in double quote or single quote. So you can see that it will come like this. And notice if you're inserting a string, the text color will be black on your console, and if you give them without a string, something this will happen. If you give something like this without the string, it will tell you that it's an error, that the thing that you have given without string is not defined. Means it's not defined in a variable, and variable we'll be learning in our next lecture. So it's not defined anywhere in your code. So that's why I'll show you error. So remember that if you're defining a string, always define it with a string, with a double quote and a single quote. Now the next thing is numbers. So numbers. So I'll just comment this out for no confusion. Yeah. So now in my last video also I showed you what are numbers. Basically without strings you need to insert them like 2, 3, 4, any number you can insert. Suppose I'll give a number like 2000. Yeah, 2000. You can see that here these numbers appear in the blue color, so that means that they are numbers. And if you type here over here type of 234, it will say it is a number. And now if I comment out this code and show you Mike, so if I type here type of Mike with strings, if I type without string, it will say me that it's not defined. You can see it shows it's a string. So now these two we already know. Now I'll show you another one that is known as boolean. Boolean, yeah. So boolean is basically true or false. It is used to check conditions, like suppose if you're going down to get some vegetables, so if the vegetable vendor is there, true, and if it's not there, false. So like that, you might have done in a school true or false statements, where the teacher basically gives you some question and you have to tell whether the question is true or false. So here also the case is same. Type here true. You can see that the true will appear in the same color as the numbers, and yeah, you can see true will also appear in the blue color, and let me just comment this out for no confusions. Okay, Control Z, and yeah, perfect. You can see that it comes in the blue color, and if you now give it type of 2, it will show that it's a boolean. And now you can also type false, if else false. So this true and false is used in if and then conditions, if then else conditions. Suppose you're writing some condition to check something and you're giving the variable as true or false. So depending on that value, the if then else will run. So here you can see if I type of false, and you can see that it's a boolean. So the next thing that I'm showing you is not a number. Not a number is basically nothing. It is just used to check whether the text you have inserted is a number or not. So for writing that, console.log nan, N-A-N, nan. I'll just log this to the console, and you can see nan comes over here. If I type of nan, nan, it will show it's a number. So now you might think that it's only using to be not a number. So how is it a number? Because if you insert something in this, it will become a number. So that is it, and I'll meet you in the next video. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye bye.